Today, Jesus tells us about the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector. Two men go up to the temple to pray. One is a Pharisee, a religious man, law-abiding, exemplary in the eyes of the people. The other is a tax collector, despised, considered a sinner. But before God, appearances are reversed. The Pharisee, full of himself, stands and prays, thanking God that he is not like others, thieves, adulterers, or unjust men. While the tax collector, standing far back, doesn't even dare lift his eyes. He beats his chest and says, "Lord, have mercy on me, a sinner." And Jesus concludes, "This man went home justified rather than the other, because whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted." Why does Jesus tell us this parable? Because he wants to teach us something essential. That pride is at the root of all our sins. And in truth, each of us carries within a bit of that Pharisee. Yes, my brothers and sisters, we all bear in our hearts a seed of pride, that illusion of feeling better, holier, more righteous than others. And the worst part is that pride often disguises itself as virtue. While sins of the flesh are visible and shameful, pride is subtle, elegant, and even seems pious. The proud person prays, but to be seen, speaks of God, but to glorify himself, does good, but seeks inner applause. And so, little by little, he begins to do the right things, but for the wrong reasons, not out of love for God, but out of love for himself. This is the deepest root of pride, placing oneself in the place of God, believing that virtue comes from our own merit and not from divine grace. That's why when we fall into sin and say, "How could I have done that?" perhaps there lies hidden pride, because the truly humble person isn't shocked by his sin. He's amazed that he can love, pray, and do good, knowing that everything comes from God. Pride destroys virtues. I may be obedient, but if I obey to appear virtuous, my obedience is worthless. I may be devout, but if I pray to be admired, my prayer is empty. The devil knows this, and sometimes even encourages acts of piety, just to inflate our vanity. The true spiritual path is the path of humility. Jesus, being God, humbled himself, emptied himself, and became obedient unto death on a cross. Therefore, whoever wants to grow spiritually must ascend. Spiritual growth goes downward. The more we bow before God, the more he lifts us up. But there's an even more dangerous kind of pride, the pride of those who possess the truth, those who know sound doctrine, live the true faith, but look down on others. It is the pride of the enlightened, who say in their hearts, "I am right, the others are wrong." The theologian Reginald Garrigou-Lagrange warned, "Those who live the truth with pride will never receive the contemplation of truth, because God resists the proud and reveals himself to the humble." The worst form of pride is false humility, that which seems holy, yet judges others. Of course, we must condemn sin, but not the sinner. The humble person stands beside his brother in the dock, knowing that both will be judged by the same God. If the Pharisee were truly humble, he would have gone to pray with the tax collector, saying, "Lord, it's true I fast, I pray, but if not for your grace, I'd be worse than he. And if he had received the grace I have, he'd be a saint." That is the way of true humility, to recognize that everything good in us comes from God, and that without him we can do nothing. May the Lord grant us the grace to recognize our pride and to pray like the tax collector, "Lord, have mercy on me, a sinner." For only those who humble themselves before God will be lifted up by him. God bless you.